Hello and welcome to another replay. So, today it is me as Macedon, my allies are Athens and Syracuse, going up against Carthage, Armenia and Galatia. I'm going up against Armenia personally. So if we just take a quick look at what everyone has, you can see there's Persian hoplites here, 5 of those, Eastern Spearmen 3, Eastern Slingers 3, Noble Spearmen, Eastern Cataphracts, Mercenary Cappadocian Cavalry, and we have Horse Archers at the back there. Now my build, I've obviously got a build that is not set up to combat Armenia, and I wish I'd known that because I do lose quite a lot of units, yet I still win thanks to the elite tier units that I have. So out on the flank here I have 2 Citizen Cavalry, 2 Skirmisher Cavalry and 2 Thessalian Cavalry there. Over here I've got 3 Pikes. Those are going to, well, 2 of them will come in handy in late game, one of them's going to get completely destroyed. Mercenary Thracian Warriors, they're going to rack up some kills for me, especially against the light Armenian infantry, but that's of course if I can get to the light Armenian infantry without being completely destroyed by Horse Archers, which is why I have Royal Peltasts. Heavy melee infantry, but they're also very good at throwing javelins and extremely good at eliminating Horse Archers, as you will see during the course of this. My general is a shield bearer, which was very lucky of me to choose that instead of cavalry or pikes, because going up against Armenia I needed something tough with a lot of armour and health, and shield bearers are probably the cheapest unit for that. Over here you can see Galatia, 2 mercenary Cappadocian cavalry, mercenary Syrian archers and Celtic slingers. Just 1 Celtic slinger there actually, that's quite surprising. 2 Levy freemen, Galatian swords, I mean they are weak infantry, you can get rid of them fairly easily. Same case again with the Galatian legionnaires, really I don't see the point in using them. And a Galatian nobleman, which is a heavy spear unit. Back here we also have Carthage, African elephants there, you can see. Late Libyan hoplites. Whether that means they're supposed to be better than ours, I don't know. We've got late Libyan hoplites alongside Libyan infantry, shaky infantry really. Well, actually they're not shaky at all. Libyan infantry are fairly solid and it's a good pick for the money. Galatian raiders, again, coming out on the flank there, and Carthaginian cavalry, mercenary noble fighters and a general bodyguard and commander. Wise to have the noble fighters so far back because that'll be all the killing power of the Carthaginians along with the elephants and the no-nonsense Libyan infantry. Over here we're now going to my allies, so you can see mercenary Italian cavalry coming out to, well, whether it's actually going to combat Galatian raiders, I thought so. Mercenary Samnite warriors there, mercenary Etruscan hoplites on the flank as well. Not much cavalry, which is surprising. Mercenary Etruscan hoplites, 4-axe hoplites, slingers, a lot of slingers there, probably to counter, well, all of that, frankly. But a lot of hoplites here. A lot of hoplites. Mercenary veteran hoplites. 4-axe hoplites there. Tarentine cavalry on the flank. 2 in fact, so that's very good skirmisher power. Picked hoplite there. And we've got militia hoplites from Athens just back here. The Athens build, you can see hoplites. More hoplites. Mercenary veteran hoplites, more there. Militia hoplites, picked hoplites, and we have mercenary Thracian peltasts at the back with slingers at the front. Not a strong cavalry advantage. The Tarentine cavalry is certainly going to be a boost. My own flank, you can see I've got Thessalian cavalry in the forest. I thought I was going up against Gaul or Galatia, someone that I could actually really rush cavalry through my lines for. So the idea for me really is to bring the pikes out, and then use mercenary Thracian warriors just to defend the line, and they'll get a lot of kills, with Royal Peltas just to sort of back it all up and to act as missile support. So my build is very melee orientated. I'm looking for a hard clash, and that's exactly what I'm not going to get, as you now watch. So first we're going to see a lot of skirmishing and manoeuvring, so you can see Tarentine cavalry going out and various units going to the flank. It's strange that mercenary Samnite warriors on the right flank are being positioned out there along with Italian cavalry. To me that doesn't actually make much sense at all really, because that just gives the Galatian raiders something to shoot at. So I don't really understand that. But over here you can see there's a great big move over here. The Armenian is really looking to just sort of fill in this gap, and this is something that I do fail to do a lot of the time, which is to simply fill the gaps in, which I haven't done there. I'm also going to receive instructions in a minute from my friends to move that way, my allies I should say. And what I'm trying to do is just draw the horse archers in. Because of how the auto commands work, they do sometimes chase one unit and then another unit will go back, but whether that's going to happen here, I do not think so. Over here we can see similar engagements going on. Celtic slingers trying to move into position to take on the Athenic slingers. And here I'm still trying to... Yeah, I have killed a couple of horse archers and killed a few more there. So I'm slowly managing to whittle down a few of his horse archers, but I'm still taking quite a bit of damage, more than I probably should, so I know my skirmishing isn't going to last forever at this point. But I can move, as you can see, I can easily move his shock cavalry away. He simply wants those for late game, which is a bad indicator for me, because it means he's probably got a good idea of how he's going to slam into me. One problem he does have, although he has missile superiority, is that my infantry is much higher quality, and I am slightly thankful that I didn't bring heavy pikemen. So I mean, what's going on my flank is quite a lot of skirmishing. Over here we're going to see quite a bit more. This is a full frontal move up here by Galatia. Out here I go. So I've obviously been given a command to move this way, so that's what I'm doing. Bringing my pike wall in, I just need to secure the flank against any Cataphracts charges, which won't happen until late game because he's going to want to squander this infantry. Although really when you're doing an eastern build, the infantry is only there to provide a cover for cavalry. So you can see I'm still losing cavalry there. Quite a few losses there in fact. So that's down to 40, that one's down to 53. These guys aren't really losing any, I mean that one's lost just 5. And that's all they've lost. So here we can see more skirmishing going on here. Slingers against mercenary Syrian archers. Now these are actually heavy Syrian archers, but yeah, skirmishing is just going to be rather brutal. Mercenary Balearic slingers getting picked to pieces there really. There's probably a lot of focus fire on them, and that's what's whittling their numbers down. Certainly you'd want, if you were Carthage, you'd want more than one mercenary Balearic slinger. You can see he's bringing in these levy freemen to try and disrupt the clear superiority that Syracuse has over Carthage. On this flank is rather a different story, because you can see two more mercenary Balearic stingers there, and Syracuse is having to countercharge just to get them to break off their assault. See javelin men coming in now. Probably not a wise idea, I would think. Whether that actually works, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Carthaginian cavalry now coming out. So it's all breaking off now, and you can see over here we're also having problems with horse archers as they're finally finding their own way round. Back again. You'll also notice one of my skirmisher cavalry has now been destroyed by archer fire. I think what has happened in this game is he's actually turned to heavy shots, and that's led to quite a brutal clash. Thessalian cavalry still in the forest. Back over here we're now seeing this Galatian unit is just almost wavering now, it's on half strength. And being attacked by mercenary Italian cavalry. Probably not the best thing to do in the face of the fact that they have skirmisher power quite wisely hidden behind the infantry, so to come in, and more Carthaginian cavalry coming in. Is this going to be their first kills? No, they're just screening. What they're trying to do, the Carthaginians, is just disrupt the fire from the slingers and stop the Balearic slingers from being completely destroyed, which frankly is probably going to happen at this point. You also see the Armenian and the Galatian line is really far back. So here I've managed to push the horse archers back, but because of my mismanagement, what's actually going to happen here is oh dear. Yeah, my citizen cavalry is just going to be destroyed. Now, I'm going to sort of... Quickly now! See its cavalry coming towards us, and it almost goes into my box. Put my pikes into phalanx just to stop that from happening. I also charged in my mercenary Thracian warriors. I'm just trying to disrupt his infantry and get rid of more experienced units. Which is going alright at the moment because well, they're just not really... Oh, and this is probably going to be quite bad. Yeah, mercenary Cappadocian cavalry coming in for Galatia. You can see the mercenary Thracian warriors, although they are good cavalry, do have a certain drawback in that they'll do less well in prolonged combat. And I've got a royal peltas there, I can easily slam that in and support that fight, but I'm just not doing that. I'm too busy commanding this cavalry, citizen cavalry, to come in and not do that, frankly. Just smash into the back of the merchant hoplites. You can see I'm now bringing the royal peltas back into the fight. I'm going to try and go after this one. General in here. It's now lost 19. This mercenary Thracian warrior became too dangerous for them, so they just had to end it. It's quite hard when all your opponents want to do is run away and fire at you, because just try and shred you, but I do get back later. Quite well, in fact. Now you can see this seems to be the Syracuse right flank has actually collapsed on Carthage's side, and they're trying to line up melee cavalry. Still no move from the elephants over here. Must be the most bored elephants in the world, frankly. But again, this is quite a good strategy. They've kept back most of their powerful units, apart from Armenia, who were quite forced into engaging my powerful units. What I'm trying to do at the moment is just sort of get in, kill the noble spearmen. That's going to become much harder as I'm being attacked from the rear by the soldiers. having to collapse my left flank as a result, because now all the house here, although most of it will actually run away. These forces are just here, they're probably going to run off if I try and attack them. The melee cavalry is now here, along with the cataphracts, so that's no good at all. I've had to bring in my Macedonian cavalry, and I've hit the Persian hoplites by mistake, which is an absolute shame, and I thought those were Syracuse militia hoplites, well, the Phoenix militia hoplites, but that's not happened. And I'm also being chased down now by mercenary Cappadocian cavalry, so you'll see now. You'll also notice there's a massive gap here if he'd actually not done that with his units. Would have been able to get in and completely destroy him.
For the gods of Olympus!
So here we're going to have to bring in the Sicilian cavalry. Here we go. That's hopefully going to help shake off the Persian hoplites, but I'm going to get attacked by the Cappadocian cavalry. Again, this would have been a great opportunity to just strike the mercenary Cappadocian cavalry, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, because they're going to chase me, and then I'm going to attack them. The Tarentine cavalry have also come over from the Athenian player. They're not getting many kills, but they are helping to cause distraction. And here we can now see the Galatian player has been completely, well, annihilated. These mercenary Cappadocian cavalry are going to stay on the field now. All I've had to do is hold the units in with one my Sicilian cavalry and use the other two ram into it. I've also boxed up my units here, and this is purely protection because as an eastern faction would, he's brought many slingers, and they are opening fire on my units, which is really annoying. The only way I'm going to protect my units is just to try and keep them there. So I waste one pikeman. Which is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do that. You can see he's now focusing on this royal peltast. Along the field we're also seeing similar losses really. I mean, this is Galatian legionnaires against hoplites. We've got Tarentine cavalry trying to fire into a fight between Carthaginian cavalry, Galatian legionnaires, and mercenary veteran hoplites, who are probably going to win in prolonged combat. Over here, this flank, they're having to deal with elephants, which is not going too well. The elephants, they've lost quite a few already, and they're trying to go through the general. He's lost half his units already. And over here we're seeing mercenary samurai warriors racking up an incredible number of kills, and they're going up against open fighters now, which are probably going to win, and it's a shame that the Syracuse player didn't keep back his archers and slingers for late game. With these peltasts, they really would be useful over there right now. The Syracuse player is able to just get in additional forces, and he is tying up a lot of the Carthaginian forces. The Galatian is, well, he's winning, and that seems to be what's causing an extra number of units and amount of devastation on the field. Because these Galatian raiders are now unleashing on the back of Thracian peltasts and picked hoplites. It's a good pick, and it is the general, so no surprise there. They're going to be charged now by Tarentine cavalry. The Tarentine cavalry will probably... well, I was going to say they'll probably win this, but we'll see. Galatian Raiders... Oh, Galatian Raiders are better melee attack. Defense... Galatian Raiders... That's interesting. So Galatian Raiders are actually superior, it turns out, to Tarentine cavalry. Something you wouldn't have thought possible. Nonetheless, the Galatian Raiders are now winning, so the stats there are living up to their name. I'll also put this War Peltus right behind the Python. I'm trying to stop losses from these units because I don't want any more. I've been left in this position because my units over here have been destroyed by the Armenian player through various sneak tactics. In fact, they've been getting behind my lines. Luckily they do run out of ammunition, so the only way they realise they're going to win is by trying to actually come after me, but it's going to be hard. See mercenary hoplites here, catching the Carthaginian general, blocking guard just, and managing to dismount one or maybe two of his riders. Not now dismounted two actually. Not, but this mercenary samurai warrior now is going to be in a lot of trouble. They are now winning against the noble fighters, which is rather surprising. Seems another one's gone there. So it's really with the mercenary samurai warriors that Syracuse has been able to stay in the fight this long, because the picked hoplites are also, I think all 4-axe hoplites are doing well, and yeah, picked hoplites doing even better. So Syracuse build has been very solid, and that has meant that Carthage has not been able to stand up to it. Frankly, the amount of skirmishers over here just being left behind completely is frankly ridiculous. You can see Armenian cataphracts now coming in because, well, they have nothing better to do. And they are probably going to lose a few. It'd be interesting to see if the 4-axe hoplites can actually hold off here. Whilst over here, Armenia's actually decided to try and attack the box that was up. I've only done this just to protect myself whilst I try and figure out what I can do to outmaneuver them. The other problem is that when you have heavy cavalry like cataphracts stationed around you, you don't really have any other option other than to box up, because they can just shred you if you try to make your way towards your ally. Which is why I've sort of been forced to box here, despite the fact that these slingers, cataphracts, and ammo, well actually they're just these slingers. Cataphracts are just dangerous. It also pays dividends for me because I can rack up a lot of kills doing this. 90 kills there, 42 there. 40 here again, just 14. And they still shredded my units at half the strength. I'm still managing to destroy most of their units just through this. So you can see here the Armenian infantry is coming in now, in here. That's going to try and just completely finish off these picked up ones. And the Armenian general is going to die here, since the Armenian troops have a bit of a problem late game. I can't actually see the Galatian general, I'm assuming he's dead. It must be. I wonder how that happened. Probably wasn't very significant, I imagine. Probably got killed by a Syracusan or Phoenix Spear. Facing those 4x hoplites holding out here, just 29. Facing continued attack by these Syrians. Yeah, not managing to kill the Syrians themselves, so that's quite disappointing. I think maybe the Syrians are slightly historically inaccurate, because I really doubt they'd be armoured in metal plating. Really doubt that. I reckon that would probably just be chambered in historically. Carthaginian general coming in again. Oh, managed to rout that one. So there's another pocket of resistance gone. And this would appear to be all the Syracusan player has left. Mercenary veteran hoplites. 237 kills and going after the mains of Libyan infantry, which has not scored many kills, so that will probably be quite easy. Interesting to see if these... oh no they don't, mercenary Balearic slingers but with no ammunition. It's interesting what enemies try to do to win. Some of them will run away and others will just try and put you in a situation where if you do anything in terms of moving or trying to help your allies, you just get destroyed in the rear. So unfortunately these Athenic hoplites are going to be destroyed by Persian hoplites. They've led a good life, 205 kills, that's good. And their sacrifice will mean that my Macedonian troops actually survive. Now what I was hoping at this point was that the Armenian player would just sort of not be looking at what was going on. There's a lot of chatter going on towards my tactics to do a quick box. There were nice comments, I'll put it that way. And I think it was one of these other guys who was saying I was a bit of a douche doing it. But at the end of the day, being douchey has saved me, so... and it's going to cost them the game, so frankly they should have used all their cataphracts over here, allowed me to move in. Maybe then they would have won. But right now I have the strongest position. I know this if I move these guys into a line I'll be hit from behind and the sides. So I'm going to try and use the Royal Peltas to go after the Eastern Slingers. Attack this cataphract with pikemen and send pikemen over there just to annoy them. I've taken them out of pike phalanx. I'm hopefully going to get rid of, there we go, got rid of 3 there already. So I've put that up to 49 from 46, so that's good. And they're now going to try and go after my... yeah, they didn't. They tried to go after my Royal Peltas, but it's not actually that easy to go after Royal Peltas. I have actually caught them substantially just by using extremely aggressive tactics, just trying to round up on them. That has completely destroyed those cataphracts. We're now going to try and go around and come at me from the rear. So I'm just going to fast forward here because obviously those mercenary veteran warriors are going to lose soon. So obviously this Carthaginian general has had just about enough of everything. Wish I could say I'd killed the general, but later on, but I don't think he's actually there, so that's a unit without its general. So all I'm facing is shaky Armenian troops who've lost their leader, haven't been able to defeat
Tanks at the ready!
Macedonia throughout the
Form
entire
flanks!
game. I'm going to push in my Royal Peltast here, just bunch up the pikes. I hope that helps resist the what is inevitable a cataphract charge, so that I can maintain the pike wall, take out all these cataphracts who have just charged right into the front of it, which, to be honest, wasn't very clever, and whether the player was just being patient, I don't know, but it doesn't work to his benefit, as we're about to see. All these units are now going down quite healthily. I've already freed up one pike unit there. See, all those cataphracts really are just disappearing. And here comes the Carthaginian general. He may have killed like one, I don't know, but yep, chain route. And that is how you win against an Armenian correctly. So let's see what worked well here. Well, first off, this wasn't actually a very good battle. You can see I lost more than I gained. I just did what I did to try and garner a few points back off of the other players. So my mercenary Thracian warriors actually did very well. They managed to clear up a lot of the Armenian units, which meant there weren't too many running around in late game. The pikes, two of them did well. I mean, one there, that pike didn't do well. That Royal Peltast, or that one. That one probably got shot off at some horse archers. And that one, I think, was shot to death by slingers. Now, the Thessalian cavalry, they would have done better if I hadn't been up against Armenia. And if I'd known that, I may have just brought heavy melee cavalry instead. That certainly may well have saved me late game. Citizen cavalry not doing well again. They were just outmatched in every possible way. Armor, health, range, they weren't going to get anywhere. Skirmish cavalry not doing well again. Again, not really surprising. They were only there just to screen my force while they tried to get into melee combat. And the general not doing too well there either, possibly because he was shot at a lot, and really the only thing he went up against was cataphracts. So if we just look at the Armenian player, cataphracts doing well there, not surprising. Noble spearmen doing well. Eastern infantry not doing well. Persian hoplites doing alright. Eastern slingers doing well. And mercenary Cappadocian cavalry, again, doing well. And the horse archers, fairly alright for horse archers there. Athens, by comparison, really did a lot of tanking out, and that really did pay off. You can see a lot of kills there. Slingers not doing that well. Militia hoplites not doing well either, and the Tarentine cavalry not doing well at all. If we look in comparison to Galatia here, we can see that, well, frankly, Galatian legionnaires, some of them doing amazingly well. Galatian noblemen not doing well. May have been better to have a sword unit general in this fight. Galatian swords doing alright there. Galatian raiders doing amazingly well there. Mercenary Cappadocian cavalry doing alright. Mercenary Syrian archers doing well, to be expected, but not the Celtic slingers due to the lack of armour. And the Levy freemen, again, they were used as just a decoy, so unsurprising that they didn't do well. Also noticeable here that Athens has actually won against Galatia. Compared to me, they've actually gained, Athens has gained points. In fact, they've got 109 more kills, and Galatia's lost quite a few, it looks like. Carthage, the exact same thing has happened. The slingers did well there. This was a very solid Syracuse build, a lot of slingers, but they didn't get many kills between them. So I'm not sure that they all paid for themselves. Javelinmen again didn't pay for themselves. I think that was for the elephants and they came in too early. But that was just to relieve pressure on the slingers. Mercenary Italian cavalry doing not very well, probably targeted early on. And these mercenary Balearic slingers were obviously very deadly. In terms of what the Libyan infantry were able to do, it wasn't very much, probably just blocking the hoplites for as long as they could. The Libyan infantry were, well, it did alright, but again, fairly shaky there. The mercenary noble fighter coming out with most of the kills, but that has absolutely no impact because compared to the Samnite warriors, well, they just did better. And even the Trujan hoplites, one of them did better. I think that unit could probably get well stuck into a fight. So a very solid Syracuse build there compared to the Carthaginian build, which I think relies a bit too much on the cavalry and the elephants for this player to handle. So I think possibly this build wasn't the best for the game, or the battle that just went on. The Galatian build did fairly solid sword build there, good for the middle. Not too much in terms of cavalry, although it did very well. Archer support was good. So that just leaves, who does that leave? Athens. No, and that is it. So as you can see, what really happened here is I chose the wrong build and paid for it. Athens did very well, so did Syracuse. Armenia did well, Carthage did poorly, and Galatia probably a little less poorly than Carthage. Carthage really not doing very well at all. In fact, they sucked. And that is the end of this battle. Thank you.